Welcome to Nimsy.com's review of the Android game Fruit Shoot. Fruit Shoot is a very basic game based on the premise of games such as Angry Birds, where it's trajectory based. You shoot a projectile across the screen in order to hit a target on the other side. In this case, you're an Indian or one of the other characters you can unlock throughout the game's progression, shooting an arrow to hit a piece of fruit off an animal. That's the gist of the game. As you will see, it's not very rewarding, so I'm going to tell you that now, just to let you know up front. But we're going to go through this game because it seems to be a very popular download on Google Play, and I wanted to see why so many people were downloading it, because usually when people download games, you think they're very good. I don't think that's the case in this one, but you make your own decision. I'll tell you what I think by the end of the review. So Fruit Shoot, again, is a very simple 2D shooter game. It's stationary. You've got an Indian on one side shooting an arrow across the screen to hit a piece of fruit. That's basically challenge mode. There is two modes if you look at the screen. There's versus and challenge. Versus is the multiplayer, and I say that loosely, aspect of the game. It's not a network multiplayer. You share the device or play the computer on the tablet here. But the game itself doesn't offer a lot of engagement, but we're going to look at the versus mode first just to show you what you're missing out on if you hadn't got this game. I am picking the only character I have unlocked, which is the Indian. Now I'm going to also play against myself. At this point you could play the computer, but for purposes of this demonstration I want to show you how two people would play. Okay, you pick your unlocked scene down below, and the only one I have unlocked is the first one, the Indian one, because I hadn't earned enough coins to go anywhere. Unfortunately, in this game, the player that goes first has the advantage. But all you do is take your finger and move it left and right and up and down. Up and down changes your trajectory. Left and right changes your strength or power behind the arrow. And this is basically it. You sit there and shoot at each other. Or if there's a computer, you sit there and shoot at the computer and he shoots at you. I want to take a pause for a moment and you just listen to something. As you can tell, there's no music or anything in this game. So you get music on the menu systems, but you don't get music in game. And I usually like something to keep you going, ambient sounds or something that could have made sounds of wildlife in the background every so often, but they chose not to go that extra step, and I think it depletes from the game, because the game itself is kind of mundane as it is, and without the extra sound effects and music, it's not that entertaining at all. I mean, some random animations in the background with bears popping their heads out behind the trees, anything like that to add to the depth of this game, because right now on the surface it's a very simple basic game with not a whole lot of replayability. So this is the versus mode. We're going to leave it because you're seeing it in all its glory. You notice you'll see a lot of ads in this game too, and I'm all for a developer making money. I'm not against ads in games, but as you'll tell in a minute, the game's not only big on ads, but it wants you to buy with real money coins, and the cheapest coins are basically $2. And once you pay $2, you get rid of those annoying ads, because if you want this game, I would pay the $2 or more, because when you first start it up, you get a large annoying full screen ad. As you play, you get banner ads a lot, and then you got to buy coins too. I wish the developer would have said, okay, either we're going to do in-app purchases like games like Pitfall only, or we're going to do banner ads to generate income. Not both. I mean, again, I'm for a developer making money, but this is just tacky and annoying to the end user, and it's a distraction. $1.99 won't buy you much, and I'll show you what I mean. If you unlock any characters or levels, you got to have at least 300 coins. And trust me, if you play in this game, it's going to take a long time to earn that 300. So they really made it so if you want to unlock anything, you're probably going to pay for it. So that tells me you're going to pay $5 for this game, and there's a lot better games out there for a lot less money. So I can't recommend you doing the in-app purchases, but it's a decision you have to make. Here is your coins here if you want to pay for them like this, but I really wouldn't recommend going that route. Okay, we're back at the main menu, and we're going to look at challenge mode. And challenge mode is the single player aspect of this game. Tutorial is virtually useless. Tutorial is the exact same thing. In fact, let me show you. Yes, it shows you how to play the game. Okay, here's the tutorial. It tells you how to shoot. Very nice. But if you look, when you play the game, you notice there's ads all over the place. Level 1, exact same thing. So they didn't even take the time to make a special tutorial screen there. We're using a level, which I would argue is just lazy. Okay, so the premise of this game, you shoot the fruit off the bear without hitting the bear's head. If you hit the bear, you failed the level. So even though you shot all this fruit, just by hitting the bear like that, you lose the level and have to restart from scratch. Lovely. You can either buy your coins now because you're so frustrated about shooting the bear, or click an ad to get out of this game because you're so frustrated about the game. Go back to the game. Again, no background music, no sound effects. But when you make something happen, like shooting the arrow, there's no reward, no sense of achievement. I mean, again, Angry Birds should get an applause or something when you do things right. And during that time, you have sound effects and mocking going on kind of within the game. Here, none of that. So you got two characters on the screen, and all you do is shoot an arrow. While it might be fun for very small children, unfortunately because of the ads, I can't see this being for small children either. And even they will get probably bored fairly quickly with it. So let's go back to the main menu. This is it in all its glory. If you wanted to play other levels, you need to unlock them with 300 coins, it looks like, or 500. And trust me, a long, boring road to get to 300 or 500 coins. You'll just buy your way out of that before you do it. And I think that's the purpose of the game, is for you to buy your way out. All right, back to the main menu. So this is Fruit Shoot for the Android. If I had to rate this, I'm going to have to give it a 2. And that's unfortunate because I can respect the time it takes to make a game. But this is also what I consider a pump and dump, whereas you pump out something very basic, stick in-app purchases in it, and ads. Now, if they would have did one or the other, I probably wouldn't have been so harsh about my rating. If they would have put a little bit more engagement for the user, some ambient music in the background, some random animations, some sense of achievement, then the game would have a little bit more depth and probably would have easily got to a 3, if not 3.5. The overall, this game could be improved if the developer come back and just commit a little bit more time to it. I'd be happy to revisit this game and do a new review. But as it sits right now, my advice personally is to avoid. There's much better games on the market and much better value when you do your in-app purchases. So this is Fruit Shoot for the Android, reviewed by nimsy.com. Please visit nimsy.com for more reviews, free apps, and tips for both Android and Apple devices.